Hello and welcome to another conversation on co-production, where this time we were talking about or chatting about employing someone with lived experience. So these conversations on co-production are weekly events that we have on a Tuesday, 11 o'clock on Zoom. You can get involved via Eventbrite, and we talk about all the different things around co-production, lots of different topics. So just so you know, Expert Link's a peer-led organisation that champions the voice of people with lived experience and multiple disadvantages, including homelessness, mental issues, mental health issues, substance misuse, offending, histories of domestic violence and abuse, all that type of stuff. Okay, what's really important though to understand is we don't hold the monopoly on the truth. What I am going to do is I'm going to share our truth and our wisdom, but that was collected through that conversation that we had with some amazing people all around the country. The questions, employing people with lived experience within services or organisations. Yeah. So to help us frame the conversation or get through it, we posed ourselves a quick couple of questions. So does the benefit of co-production or having people with lived experience still need making? That was our first conversation. Do we still need to be talking about the benefits? You'd think not. But, and the second question we had was, how hard is it to work within services or in services when you've been a client in that services, which was probably a bit more of an intense, more important part of the conversation. And it's something that's really relevant to myself. So we ended up talking about, I guess, three different topics. And the first one was around that employing the lived experience within in this context, you know. So what was apparent there were lots of there's some great organisations out there, by the way, that do great job of employing lived experience and bringing it through their through their service, you know. But some organisations appear to make more of a tokenistic effort or self-gratification approach, where that perhaps they talk about it, but they're talking about it for the benefit of their organisation. And actually, when it comes down to it, when you start peeling behind that, when it comes to employing lived experience, they either don't do it very well or they don't do it at all. And one thing that came out on more than one occasion during this conversation was the fact that the poster child, you know, you put someone up as a poster child, that's our lived experience bit, and we've got them as this, and a volunteer, or we're employing them, and but they're there for a reason. They're there for the organisation to benefit from, but not in a good way, in a negative way, if you like. So it's promoting the organisation. But what's really, you know, so poster children, it never was good, and it's not good now, and it never was good. And what often happened, it was really detrimental to those poster children, and also detrimental to the ones that held them up. So it's a big no-no. So if you're doing it, stop. Don't do it. Okay. What was also clear about when we talk about the benefits and stating the case for having employing people with lived experience, beneficiaries, whatever you want to call them, just wonderful people who've perhaps had different journeys to those who've gone through a more academic, more secure route. But these guys, what was clear was that for an organisation to be really good, we need diverse teams that can share their learning, share and learn and grow together. So that's taking that learning from those who have perhaps had experience very much at the core of what that service delivers, working alongside those who haven't, perhaps, as I said, have come through a different route, maybe through colleges and academia and all sorts of things, through a more professional route. But joining those things together in a diverse team is exceptionally good for the organisation. It helps organisations to have a greater understanding of those that they support and to grow and to deliver better services. So it's a win-win all around here, because it actually supports that person who's growing too, you know, who's on that journey with that lived experience. So it's a really positive thing. But one of the things when it comes to recruiting and bringing people into your service who've been beneficiaries of your services is to recognise that how you treat them as service users or beneficiaries or whatever you want to term, how you treat them will have a direct impact on not only how they engage with you as a service when they're there, but whether they'll join your organisation as an employee. If you treat people bad, they'll walk away. So here's a really nice quote that came out of this, and it was, I'm not mentioning the person's name or the organisation, but it went along these lines. I lived with my organisation for over 2 years and have worked for them for nearly 4 years now. My apprenticeship ended last week, and I'm happy that my employer is working with me to find a job role within the company that fits within my skills and ability. I think that's an amazing thing that's happened. The organisation has benefited from the wisdom of this person for 4 years now, and now employing them in a role that fits them. So they'll continue to benefit from that person's wisdom. And the organisation, it's such a good thing to be able to do that. That person will grow, has grown personally while they've been supporting that growth, or supporting them around getting into employment within the organisation. But the culture of the organisation will be, that will spread through the culture of the organisation. And other people who are beneficiaries or service users will see that, and it'll have a massive impact, positive impact on them. I mean, that's a really, really good story. So what also came out is about that change can be a bit scary, because people with lived experience of using services can bring that sing from the heart and spirits attitude, very much heart on the sleeve, I guess, and passionate and telling that how it is. And that can be quite frightening for people. And we get that, we understand that. But we also recognise that it can be too easy for people's negative experiences to be blamed for fault or as an excuse not to listen to them. So we might come along with that like really positive attitude and tell it how it is, and singing from the hearts and spirits sing. But that does not give you an employer the excuse to turn around and say, well, he's mad. Don't worry about it. Oh, God, he's been in prison. Don't just ignore. Nod and smile and it'll be okay. That's not an excuse for that. It's not an excuse when the things go wrong to blame that experience either. So another quote that came out was, I'm proud of the label former prisoner. It's part of my journey. I can't change my history, but, and I love that anticipation. I can't change my history, but I'm going to use that experience to create my future. And that's a really good positive attitude, and something that most organisations you'd think would be embracing. So when we think then, so that's I guess is a bit of a case for bringing that lived experience on, but it's about also getting that the policies right. There is a technical part, isn't there? So have the right policies, making sure that we have all the right policies in place, which can be a bit of a minefield. I agree, it is a bit of a challenge. But your policies should reflect and recognise that people are people, and that we have all had challenges in our life, all of us, and for some they will reappear again. So it doesn't matter whether that person's got lived experience or not. We're all bringing our journeys, aren't we? And we're all going to have a bit of a past, or a bit of a past. We've all got a past. Some of us, the past is pretty gruesome, and it may or can reappear again, and you need policies to be able to support if that was to happen, So also this thing around having policies around training and support that creates the right environment for everyone when employing those who have previously been beneficiaries. So when we talk about this, that training and support, it's really important that we have policies that do that. And it shouldn't just focus on the negative possibilities, just because people have had an experience. They go, right, let's have our policies all focused around that. But it should also be focused on personal development too, to help individuals grow. When people grow, they have less chance of their history catching up on them, or the past catching up on them, and causing any challenges. And also great policies develop existing staff to become better managers of people, so that they know how and when to get the best out of others, whilst at the same time recognising and having empathy towards someone's personal history. Train the staff as well, the managers. not just focus on training those of us with the lived experience in the hope that, oh my God, and get your policies right, and heaven forbid his life history comes up again and bites me on the bum, because then it's going to affect us. Actually, train your staff too, because your managers might have you asked them how they would feel? Managing lived experience, they might find it a real challenge. But with a bit of training and support, we can overcome that. Here's another quote for you. It's too easy for employers not to offer the correct training and then place the blame on the employee when things don't work out. How many times have we heard that? Too easy for employers to not offer the correct training and then place the blame on the employee when things don't work out. There's no excuse for that in this day and age. There's enough training out there. There's enough free training. We do a load of free training. There's enough stuff out there. It's about the organisation's culture, and it's about their leadership and whether they want to be able to do it. So guys, do it. And actually, talking of doing it, there's a lesson from the past here, isn't there? COVID-19 forced us all to rethink about our values and the way that we work. Very, very quickly. There was no lead-up time. It was like, bang, right, rethink all your values, as individuals or personal, rethink the way that we do businesses. Whole organisations had to find new ways of delivering their services and supporting those that they're commissioned to do so. Individuals had to find new ways to engage. Technology was suddenly thrust upon us with no option to avoid it. There was no hiding from it. It was there. It was tough. Yes. It was scary, yes, and people were and still are fearful. Yet we did it, didn't we? Here we are today, 4 months later on, and things have changed for individuals and organisations. We've come through it. That's incredible. In such a short period of time, we completely changed the way that we worked. So if we can create and manage such a massive and impressive change over a very short scale of time, how come is it we haven't done that for co-production yet? Guys, that's enough for me. I look forward to check out the link below for our website and our next co-production conversation. Tuesdays, 11 o'clock. You can sign up via the website or via Eventbrite. I look forward to seeing you all there. In the meantime, love you all. Stay safe.